Hi, I'm Steve Shore, Steve Shore Insurance. Thank you very much for coming to our YouTube channel or our website. This video is going to discuss how to clarify with Covered California and Medi Cal, how to get out of Medi Cal, show them you have enough income, the number of people in your household, and then be able to get qualified with Covered California for subsidies. Now, just as an aside, there's no such thing really as qualifying for Covered California. Everybody can buy from Covered California. It's a question of if you're going to get subsidies or not. So even if you're Medi Cal, if you want to pay full price, well, no, let me take that back. If you want to pay full price, you may not be able to do Covered California. You may have to just go direct to an insurance company and pay full price. So yeah, it's very confusing. President Trump was not kidding when he said insurance was so complicated, nobody knew. He could have asked me, I would have told him. Or he could have visited my website. And I do see from my hit counter that time to time government agencies, including Medi Cal, are visiting my website. So anyways, what we're going to do in this video is I have a client who at one point had like 9 children. Now he's only got 2 in the household, but it's all confusing and all messed up. And he has more than one Covered California account and so forth. I get no training for Medi Cal. The Covered California training isn't that good. I have a degree from San Diego State in insurance. I have an advanced degree in insurance, chartered property and casualty underwriter, a year of law school. And so I know how to research stuff, but I can't say I'm getting a whole lot of support. And so many people think they know something, but they don't. But you just have to, press and get on and do it. And that's why I know what I know. So let's go into, what Covered California had in this guy's account and trying to find everything because it's not really intuitive. So I've blocked out the name for privacy, and this is on one of the children, and it says he's not eligible for Covered California or even Medi Cal. And then, here's the whole thing from the Covered California website. They tell him to call the county office and that he doesn't have a qualifying event, that he is in the Medi Cal limits, but sometimes they'll say one thing and then you don't know and you have to go to the other thing, and it's all like contact your local county office for help. And unfortunately, Covered California agents don't get paid, to wait on hold and talk to everybody. That bounces back to the client to then call the county. And the county, of course, is getting, those workers are getting paid. I believe they belong to the union. They get health benefits. And as a broker, I get maybe 1% commission and pay all my own expenses. I don't get a nickel from Covered California or any of the insurance companies for this website or doing this research on how to get out of Medi Cal. So anyways, they're saying here that he's not part of the primary tax filer's household, and that there's another case, either Covered California or Medi Cal. And of course, if you think that a thing is wrong, you can appeal it. Good luck with the Covered California appeal. They come at you with tanks, missiles, and trucks and steamrollers. I did one appeal once, and their appeal brief was like 90 pages. And they didn't send it to me so that I could help my client. They sent it to the client who didn't give it to me, and I had to ask for continuance. Today's Sunday, May 2nd, and I'd like to put dates because things could change next week. But so this is the best of my knowledge, belief, and research, May 2nd, 2021. So last night in the middle of the night, I had a thought of let's do this, let's do that. And I downloaded, one of the children. But when I started to do it this morning before tennis, I can't get in there. So anyways, the Covered California account is unavailable today, May 2nd. And I can't fault them for maintenance. I do my own website. I know how complicated it is. They're saying the household doesn't have a qualifying event. So that's a whole nother deal with ARPA, with losing coverage, with open enrollment. But basically, in this case, it means Covered California has to cancel you, give you a release, and then you can go into other insurance. You just don't really have the choice. You want subsidies, you take what the government gives you, and here they're saying based on the income and the household size, your Medi Cal. So here I've asked the client for a copy of the 2021 return, so maybe we have something to argue about, or at least he has something to discuss when he calls Medi Cal. These links, I guess these links didn't really come out. So if you cut, and paste, then it should work. Let's test that. That's weird. I got a 404 error. Let's try this one. That's really weird. But anyways, at the bottom of this video, if you find it on YouTube, I'll have a link to the web page where, you can get into this PDF. And, if you need any of these pages and the links don't work, just email me and I'll send it to you. Or at the bottom of every web page, you can put a question in there. So Medi Cal has a chart that's just, I think, is wonderful because it's difficult to read the law and so forth. So they have a chart that you can go through for each person living with you and say, do they expect to file a return? No. Do they expect that they'll be on the main filer's tax return? Yes. These things don't really apply. So you say no. And so generally the household rule consists of the main tax filer and any other person that he claims is a dependent. So if you've got roommates or your mother-in-law lives with you, but she's doing her own taxes, that's how it works. On my website, I've got an income chart for people. To be out of Medi Cal for the adults, he has to have at least, say, 36,000 or 138%. To be out of Medi Cal for the kids, he needs, 75,000 of income. It's confusing exactly where these breakpoints are. So the best thing is on my website. Just get a quote. It'll show you the subsidies if you qualify. And it'll give you an exact number for what your federal poverty level is, along if you get any enhanced silver. So I'll see if I can do anything. Well, here's a link that works. It's interesting. So some of the links work, some don't. When I went from Outlook 365 and printed it, some work and some don't. If it works, you'll see the little hand up here. So really, before Covered California will let you have coverage, if you've ever been with Medi Cal, you have to have a Medi Cal discontinuance. And, it's difficult sometimes to understand what people are saying, or they say one thing and not the other thing. I prefer stuff in writing. So I'd really like to be able to have a copy of what you turned into Medi Cal into your annual redetermination, because that's probably where everything needs to get fixed. And then, I just updated this web page yesterday on how to appoint us as onto all of your Medi Cal. Well, we can't do anything with your Medi Cal account on your Covered California accounts, because sometimes people have 5, 6 accounts. And once in a while, I lose a client because they say, nope, he's on another account. So, anyways, just because you think I have information doesn't mean I do. So please send me the names, dates, and social security numbers of who's there so I can see what I can do to help you more. And don't say, well, it's in my file, because sometimes it's difficult. And what's on Covered California's file, the social security number disappears, and I have to go through, and it's not intuitive. They don't really list it out like you'd like, and if they do, it's difficult to find. It's just not intuitive. So here they're saying, call your local county. Anyways, this link doesn't work, but on my website, I've got their email address and their phone number. If you want to go see them in person, here's the links for Los Angeles County. And if you go back, to county offices, so most of these links will be on the webpage, even though they didn't come out here in the PDF. But whatever county you're in, you can find out where the county offices are. And I suggest, if at all possible, get a online Medi Cal account, because there you should be able to, get a lot more stuff done and not wait on hold. So here's my webpage on how to get out of Medi Cal if you made a mistake, reported the wrong income. And I'll be updating these web pages in the next few days. So, watch for that. Here's where you request withdrawal from Medi Cal. So, put down that you make too much money, and then you've got to document everything. You can't just say, oh, do it. No, it's like a court case. You gotta be there, ready to go, have the information. And if you think someone's just going to do it for you, I don't think so. And then they say you can file an appeal. Well, let me tell you, like I said before, I did an appeal once, and Covered California comes at you with tanks, missiles, and a ton of paperwork. And they record everything that you've spoken to them about. So, anyways, but here's a case where Covered California lost, and you'll go to my website, you'll see like how much goes into it. And that pretty much says it. If you have any questions, just post it at the bottom of the webpage. Thanks a lot.